What is the secret to bringing motivation for leaders? Hi guys, it's Kal from Omnipotent Growth. It's very nice to see you again in our podcast. I want to say hi to Stefan.
Hi, Kal. Nice seeing you again. So today we'll be discussing motivation, and which is the willingness to get the job done qualitatively and not just ostensibly or with poor quality. I think this is always the current topic that we as managers need to consider and revisit constantly. Motivation wanes over time, so we need to keep it high or at least good enough so that our team performs well. But the question, of course, is how. Yeah, for example, I'm motivated by learning new stuff, new skills, getting out of my comfort zone despite the coziness there, solving complex problems, and of course, feeling that my contribution is appreciated. So what about you, Kal? Tell me what does motivate you?
So the answer now is different than in the past, and I'm almost confident that it will be different in the near future. But there are a few things that stick. So I can share the things that are constants and that I truly believe in. So we have our beliefs, which is a very strong and impactful thing over our personality. And also we have our identity, the thing that we believe that we actually are. Mm-hmm. So when you combine this together, you have your value-based image. The things that you truly believe in and the things that you deem right and deem connected to you, you live your life in a certain way that is lived through those values. So for example, if I believe that I'm a good leader, I will get up in the morning, do and start doing the things that a good leader would do, because I truly believe and I identify myself as being a good leader. So I will have the values and the value-based image that is connected with the things that I think are really important for a leader, like integrity, honesty, transparency, like vision, and being able to motivate people and things like that. So when I want to challenge myself and motivate myself, I put this value-based image to the test. And this is what creates great achievements for me in the past and also now. I want to really challenge the idea that I'm a smart person, for example, because I'm 107 kilos. I have a lot of muscles. This is around 220 pounds for the people that are watching in the States. So I'm not necessarily considered smart from the start. And this is something that is some sort of a stereotype, but I want to challenge it in my own way. I want to think of myself as a smart person, and that's why I went to all of the challenges that I could have think of in the time, doing an engineer degree, doing an executive MBA program, becoming a coach, becoming a trainer, all the things that can challenge me, my analytical skills, my other skills, soft intelligence, and everything that is connected to being smart. And this is what motivates me, because after every win, I have more desire to challenge again the idea of my value-based image.
Yeah, so challenge is a big motivator for you as I'm listening.
Yeah.
And here's a fallacy that we need to avoid, because what motivates us doesn't necessarily motivate our employees. Frederick Herzberg, a prominent explorer of motivation, defines two types of motivation factors: The base level ones, they're the so-called hygiene factors, include status, compensation, job security. If you don't provide this, you will receive job dissatisfaction. We assume that our listeners and viewers provide the minimum base level. However, those alone would not ensure happiness with your job, but simply will ensure that you don't hate it.
Yeah.
Now, here enter the next level motivation factors. These are challenging work, recognition, responsibility, and personal growth. So these are the factors that actually provide for a fulfilling job. And here is my next question to you. How do you motivate your team? Do you have some kind of universal approach, or is it an individual one towards the different members of the team? Because I assume and I know the larger the team, the more difficult to connect with every single of its members. So please elaborate more on the motivation of your team.
Okay, so basically it really depends because I've led different types of teams with different sizes. But there are a few things that prove to be very useful and very effective and impactful towards almost everybody. I really prefer separated approaches. Like I want to engage with people on a personal level. I want to make sure that I'm approaching them in a way that is suitable for them and not do the template sort of work. So, of course, you need experience, and there are tools that you can use to know how to instill the different types of motivating factors in everyone's work. But there are a few things that you can use as guidelines. The first one of them is you always try to give space and accountability. And those two go hand by hand because you want to give the space in which the person, the employee, can make decisions, can be creative, and can wonder and try new things. For example, you stand a bit aside, don't micromanage. If they have questions, of course, always try to ask even follow back questions to them and provoke their thinking in a way. This is coaching, and you improve their decision making by giving them the ability and the space to think. And when you give them this accountability, the space in which they can make decisions, they grow as leaders. Even if they're on the operational level, they start to really develop some leadership qualities. So this is always motivating for people, and especially when they start seeing results. The second one that I fairly recommend is to try and stretch a capability or a skill. And what is the difference here? So with skills, those are the tactical or the analytical types of qualities that an employee or a person can have. And you can challenge them by giving a more complex task, something that can be improved in the process, something that can be somehow upgraded or made more sophisticated. So you are stretching those skills in that manner. And about capability, this is more complex. I imagine it is more strategical. For example, try and give them the task to how they will motivate a group of people or a person, how they decide where is the line of which person can take decisions over a topic. So this is a bit of stretching the capability, but both bring growth and both bring satisfaction and the need of more of that, because it induces chemicals reactions. We all know about the greatness of dopamine, serotonin, and um, the combinations. So this is the second thing. And the third thing is, I will say, giving the vision and the clarity. So when you are the leader, it's your job to make the things that you do transparent, to make them associate, make your team associate themselves with the vision and with the things that you do. So show them in a way what you want to achieve, what great things you are already doing, because sometimes people are just leaving this behind. For example, when you go into the room, just make sure to all the people to know what great things they have done and how customers, for example, were impacted. If you work for a big company, say, hey guys, we're solving problems for over 1 million people, for example, 1 million customers. This is without us, the planet or this business will be uh, very different, and people won't have this solution. Or just give them something to grasp and something to believe in and to associate with, so they can really put themselves into their work. So in a nutshell, those are those three
Yeah.
that I would suggest.
This reminds me pretty much of talk from Dan Pink, uh, which I've seen recently. A famous TED talk. He speaks of autonomy, mastery, and purpose.
Yeah.
Autonomy, the urge of to direct our own lives. Mastery, the desire to get better at something that matters for us. And purpose, the yearning to do what we do in the service of something larger than ourselves. So for him, for Dan Pink, these are the building blocks of an entirely new operating system of the for the business. So I'll recommend this TED talk to every one of our listeners and viewers. Just Google it.
It's a great talk. Yeah.
Pink.
Definitely. And it somehow relates to the things that I just said.
Exactly.
They are fundamental, no doubt about it.
Yeah. And now I would like to raise the following question, which is contrary to the motivation. What do you think puts an employee down? Just to give you my example, for me, these are the mundane tasks, lack of appreciation and lack of communication, lack of vision about the direction and the purpose, social empathy, of course, micromanagement. And what is your view? What do you think put an employee down? Especially you're in the IT industry, which is notorious for its high staff turnover. At the surface, it's all about the money, but as long as you pass a certain threshold, I don't believe 10-15% spike in the salary will make you switch positions. So there must be something else. So
definitely.
What is your thought about it?
So I would agree that there are plenty of things that can demotivate an employee. And as we started the conversation, you need to have a basis so people don't hate their job. But as you also said, 10-15% of increase, people won't decide to go in another company. I would say that different people and different types of profiles are valuing different benefits. But if you are good in recruiting, if you're good in sharing your vision, showing what you actually stand for on the marketplace, then you're able to position yourself as an employee for the people that align themselves with your vision and the things that you want to do. Of course, you have to pay well. I don't say that you pay as a boutique company. I'm not sure which one is the best paying company, but I know of many software companies that are paying huge amount of money for a short time until the project is done, and then they're letting people go. So if the person is like that and he's after some challenges that are funny and crazy and so on, uh, he's not for your type of company in that case. And then you have to really think about, do you want such a person? Like, are you in the corner to get anyone, or you can afford the time to really see someone that has experience, less job hopping, and really aligns with you, what you think. But on the other hand, there are so many things that employees can, let's say, complain about, or they can feel somehow affected from what is happening with their boss, with their job, with the company policies, and so on and so forth. That I think that the real turnover here is how emotionally intelligent is the person, because Viktor Frankl tells it perfectly in the book The Search About Meaning. I think it's taught. So yeah, I really have to look up what was the title. Sorry if I said it wrong. But the idea there, I especially remember the idea, is that everything can happen to you. Maybe your boss yells at you today. Maybe you lose your temper in a meeting. The real decider here is how you're going to react. We have the time after the event after the stimulus, in which we can decide how to react, what to do next. And if we are mindful about it, and we can separate ourselves and see the situation on the side, see it as a third person from different angles, then we are going to know what to do next. Because even if your boss, let's say, is treating you unfairly in your thought, think about why is it's unfair to you, what are the reasons, and think about what is the perspective of your leader, because most of the people never think about it. Like you only look on the one side of the coin. Mm-hmm. And then even if you do think that you're treated unfairly, or something happened that could happen better, what is the emotional intelligent way to react, and what is the beneficial way to react for you and for everybody around you. So you can think about those, and then do a mindful decision on how to present yourself into the work, in front of your colleagues and in front of yourself. And in the end, even if you go somewhere else, you will always know that you made the decision regarding all the circumstances around, and not regarding your fight or flight brain, which is the limbic system that is so old that you might want to decide to give your best decisions on something more near and advanced, like the prefrontal cortex.
Yeah. So more or less develop self-awareness, know your reactions to certain situations, and try to manage them.
Definitely. So self-awareness and being mindful in the situation, putting the ego aside, and just think rationally, like being that evolved so many years for us to be able to do so.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, Stefan, I think this is a great topic that we embarked today. In a nutshell, we spoke about what motivates us personally. We also spoke about how to motivate a team, what are the key aspects there, and what you can do to motivate a team. We also included the contrary, how you can put your people down.
Yeah.
And in the end, we spoke about on uh, how you can uh, be on the winning side, even if the things that are happening to you are not the best you can possibly imagine. And I want to leave a pin into that topic because we can discuss it further in another episode. For now, I want to thank you, Stefan. And guys, thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, like the videos, and share the content. Let's grow together.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.